This game here at Old Trafford could very much decide the destination of the Premier League title for the 16-17 season. Manchester United here to face Chelsea today, looking to avenge in some way the previous fixtures defeat, which they lost by 2-1 against Antonio Conte's side. Chelsea not in the Premier League running this season. Spurs winning earlier in the weekend means they have closed to within a point of Manchester United. I believe I saw Arsenal there as well, so Arsenal and Spurs level pegging. 67 goals for Manchester United this season. It has been the scoring powerhouse, and even youngsters like Ollie Cox got on the scoreline. And one thing I do have to say before we start today is sorry for the misinformation in the Europa League. It was actually the quarterfinals they were up against Schalke. As we look at the Manchester United lineup, David De Gea will be in goal with Valencia, Bailly, Blind and Cameron, Borford, Jackson. Rooney is with Henwood, Mata, Pogba, Memphis. The midfield up front, Marcus Rashford. The Chelsea, and it's Courtois starting in goal with Ibrahimovic, Luis, Manoles and Marcos Alonso. It's Matic with John Obi Mikel in the midfield, Diego Costa up front, John Terry and Jamie Vardy and the like making the bench. This is a very strong Chelsea bench side. So Andre Mariner taking charge of what could be the most pivotal game of the season. If Manchester United win this, then you have to feel that they will have one hand on the trophy. They still have to face Spurs, mind you, in this title run-in. I believe they still have to face Arsenal as well. But, well, both London clubs are clipping at the heels of Manchester United. But over the last few games, United have been almost an incomparable force. And obviously, the latest news surrounding David De Gea was not all encouraging for them. But you have to admire David De Gea and his professionalism in all these matters that have surrounded them over the last few seasons. Like we said before, Manchester United probably just want to get him sold and get it over with. As much of a sacrifice as it'll be, maybe they just can't keep him around any longer. Well, Costa off balance with that shot. It was straight to Gea. And like we said, Chelsea not in the title running. They're down as low as 7th, unbelievably. So the sacking of Jose Mourinho didn't prove all that beneficial to them, did it? Not in terms of title runs anyway. The surprise inclusions of Spurs and Arsenal in the top 4. And the London clubs are going to scrap it out with Spurs and United. It could be all a 4-horse race. Crystal Palace seem to be falling behind, however. Fabregas with the corner. And Wayne Rooney knew nothing about that, but managed to clear it anyway. Marcus Rashford, wonderfully done. And here comes Memphis, and here comes Pogba with it. Memphis plays it back to Pogba, who plays it forward to Mata, and Mata scores a crucial goal for Juan Mata as it puts Manchester United in front in what could be the most crucial deciding game of the season. Wonderful play here from Manchester United, and they are showing why they are contenders for this league title. It has been sensational to watch them this season. And it's another beautiful goal, and Juan Mata scores against his former club as well, and Jose will feel that really sweet feeling of scoring against the team, but rather unceremoniously let him go, although he did actually resign, I believe. But whatever the case, the special one is now at Old Trafford, and he is making waves as Manchester United take a pivotal step, you would feel, towards the title at this point. This is their biggest game, and they obviously, like we said, have to face Spurs at some point, and that will probably even more decide the title than this one, as Costa puts a foot high, attacking Aaron Henwood, but no card given. Henwood doesn't seem too bothered by it either. When he is fouled, and the referee, I think, is going to book people now. There's been a few infringements involving Chelsea. It says Fabregas is going to go into the book first. And I don't think that might be the last time Andre Maurer will get the card out of his pockets. And definite foul, and probably a definite booking, I think, as well. Fabregas can't really complain about that, I don't think. He continues at that pace, maybe even more, in a couple of seasons' time, when United really start challenging and it'll prove crucial in the Champions League. You have to feel that United are going to make it. Mata to Pogba. Back towards Memphis. Oh my word, it's absolutely sensational from Manchester United. What a wonderful goal. Pogba looked like he had nowhere to go. He just places the ball. It's like Memphis, he knows where he is. And Memphis Depay, cool as you like. 2-0 to Manchester United in the game that could decide the title. They're stepping it up to the plate, Manchester United. Only a second goal of the league for Depay, I think. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. It's a long way back from here, although we do know what Sunderland can do, but over the last 5 games, Manchester United have been a dominant force. And to feel that's going to continue right here today. Here's Matic. Lin. Oh, what's Valencia doing? He's giving it to Diego Costa. Eric Bailly with a fantastic tackle. And David De Gea gathered it up. What a brilliant tackle by Bailly that was on Diego Costa. And Manchester United trying to bomb forward. Eric Bailly, what a sensational tackle. And Eric Bailly has been the star for me in the back four. Oh, headed it, but how forward Jackson. That was so nearly an own goal for the youngster. That would have been a terrible moment. Corner to Chelsea. Fabregas takes it in towards Costa. Well, a lot to do from there. Fabregas is looking into the box. Henwood is pursuing it. This could be a problem, and it immediately is, as Aaron Henwood clears it. And Fabregas had no answer to the relentless pursuit of Aaron Henwood to the ball, and he sees it. Run with it, because he will chase. And even if you run, you can't really hide, because Aaron Henwood will pest you all game. One of his most admirable traits, I can tell you, especially amongst the fans. This kid never stops running. He's proving that now. And that's Pogba going down in the box. And no foul given by Andre Maurer at that time. Wonderfully taken by Wayne Rooney. And Rashford. And a good save by Courtois. And Ibrahimovic clears it. Only as far as Borthwood Jackson. Paul Pogba brings it down and hits a wonder shot there. Unfortunately, it's over the bar from him. And I think you always knew he was going to hit it, didn't you? Unfortunately, Pogba has put it quite a bit over the bar, to be honest. Manchester United commanding in this first half yet again. It seems too easy for them at this point. And he plays in Marcus Rashford, turns wonderfully. Marcus Rashford has gone down. Andre Maurer gives no foul. Marcus Rashford doesn't take too kindly to it and goes after the ball. But it looks like Chelsea are going to come away here with Hazard. A lot to run at here. Costa's in the box. As is Willian.
The referee has indicated there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of added time.
5 minutes added on time, and here's Marcos Alonso for Chelsea. The cross is whipped in towards Willian. It's a fantastic save by David De Gea. And Willian puts it back in, but David De Gea there again. That was a phenomenal save. And there's no question David De Gea's heart isn't in Manchester United still while he's on remaining time here. He's going to give everything he wants to this club before he leaves. What a back heel by Pogba. Picked up by Aaron Henwood, and Manchester United another commanding lead in a pivotal matchup that could decide everything. And Paul Pogba has done all the work really, and Mata and Depay have been the ones doing the work as well. Wonderful stuff from United so far. They look commanding, they look comfortable, they look like champions. Manchester United 2, Chelsea 0. Hazard. Bailly with another sensational block. Eric Bailly, probably the best defender for Manchester United, and he's definitely probably worthy of a spot at the Team of the Year polls. Foul by, I believe it was Borthwick Jackson. And Shalke in the quarter-finals up against Manchester United, who hold a 3-0 lead going into the second leg. And once again, like at the top of the show, I apologise for saying it was the semi-finals. It was actually the quarter-finals. I actually got a bit ahead of myself there. But in any case, what is correct is the 3-0 scoreline, as you saw in earlier broadcasts. And Manchester United having 1 foot in the door in the semi-finals in any case anyway. And we have a Chelsea free kick. It's going to be Fabregas. He scored a few like this in his time. Mikel went off for Oscar. It's off the bar. And Eric Bailly is cleared it again. Oscar picked out by Antonio Valencia. Probably the best player on the team, a lot of people are touting. Next for Chelsea will be a match at Stamford Bridge against Southampton, as Marcus Rashford enters tussle with the defender, and it's a Manchester United throw. And Hazard. Antonio Valencia commits a foul. The referee is coming over. I think he's going to book him. He certainly is. We've not seen that for a while. Manchester United player in the book. Antonio Valencia is normally quite prolific, but I don't think he can have any complaints. Definitely a foul on Hazard. I think it's definitely a bookable offence as well. Free kick taken by Hazard, and the ball's everywhere. The ball had almost fallen to Costa, but David De Gea covers it up nicely for himself. On Manchester United go. Looks like a break opportunity. Ball for Jackson's on it. Unbelievably, he passes to Pogba. Aaron Hill keeps running as normal. And Aaron Hill's gone down, and no foul given against him, however. And when Aaron Hill goes down, normally he does. He doesn't intend to make a meal of it. Even though his balance would say otherwise, but the referees are a bit lenient with Aaron Hill when it comes to balance-wise like that. But he wasn't taken out to me. The thing is, Aaron doesn't make a real fuss about it. He just gets back up and starts running, so you wouldn't even know if he was taken out, because he would be straight back up unless he got really badly hurt, of course. Back after the ball. To Costa. Well, it seems no matter what Chelsea do, they can't score. We are wonderfully done by Borthwick Jackson. And Aaron Hill gets into tussles again. He's thrown his arms up in frustration, but then turned to see the ball and starts running again. Aaron Hill did feel he was fouled on that occasion. In typical Henwood fashion, he turned around, saw the ball was moving towards the Chelsea, Manchester United goal, and ran after it again. Oh. And then Aaron Hill spins out his man for good measure, although it's not really authentic, but he'll take it. Aaron Hill is wanting a goal for his effort tonight, or for this afternoon rather, but that ain't going to come. And here's Willian. Now he's going to get the ball. Yes, he is. It's going to be in towards. Oh, and Diego Costa was flying it out of there. And all the way to David De Gea. Wonderfully done from Memphis. Rashford, Aaron Hill just kept running in the hopes that Rashford would hold on to it, and he did. Aaron Hill with a burst of speed gets past his man. And once again he's denied by a goalkeeper, and he must be getting very used to this. Aaron Hill has been one of the more unlucky men in front of goal this season, but it's not one for trying. Because as you know, Aaron Hill gives 100% every single time he is on that pitch. Rooney with the corner in towards Memphis. Courtois reaches for it. Eric Bailly has brought it down and tried to Put it into the penalty area. Looks like Courtois had actually gone to it. Oh, and a whole heap of mess. Bailly tried to put it into the box and Courtois got in the way of it. I'm not sure why, but I guess he wanted to be safe just in case it snuck past him. I hope it's some goal from Bailly if that had been the case. Rooney with the corner in towards Memphis. And Pedro had to get that because Aaron Hill was lurking behind him. And that would have spelled trouble. Wayne Rooney. Wonderfully done in towards Mata off the post. After hitting Courtois, Courtois put it onto the post. And Manchester United have had a commanding afternoon, which has been the case in the last 2 games for Manchester United. It's been steamrolling performances if nothing else. Alonso with the cross. Oh, Aaron Hill can't bring it under control, and it's just tame from Chelsea really. David De Gea, they're very little to deal with. Rashford. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't think even he knows. Aaron Hill going up for the ball. You know he's up for it when he's doing that. Well, no goals, but in an absolutely dominant performance once again from Manchester United, and 3 vital points towards their title challenge in what we touted as the beginning, like at the beginning of the broadcast, as one of the most pivotal games of the season. Manchester United have taken all 3 points, and with only Spurs as their closest challenges as a match left, and maybe Arsenal as well, Manchester United now, you have to feel, are pretty much there. Don't count them out, but don't count your chickens either. Manchester United will not be complacent, I can guarantee that. United take a vital 3 points today, winning by 2-0 against Chelsea. There was another game today, and West Brom beat Liverpool by 1-0. Premier League table now looks like this, and as we said, Manchester United with a vital 3 points today now puts them 4 clear of Spurs and 6 clear of Arsenal, with Crystal Palace probably almost consolidated in 4th place at this point. West Ham jumped to 5th thanks to Liverpool's loss against West Brom today. Chelsea stays 7th despite the loss. Stoke, Bournemouth and Swansea completed the top 10. Leicester fall out of it for the first time in a while. And the relegation zone, which has been for some time now, Everton, West Brom and Burnley now 20 points. I think Burnley are actually gone now. I think it's confirmed. About 5 games left. That's 15. They're gone. Burnley are gone. 15 points to get. 20 points back. Burnley are relegated. It is confirmed now, with West Brom, Everton, Middlesbrough and Hull City and Manchester City to fight over the relegation. Watford might just make it, and Southampton and Sunderland could also fall into it, as could Leicester actually, but I would have to think now that it is between everyone from Manchester City down are in the most immediate danger. Burnley are gone. The objective for Manchester United and Jose Mourinho tonight is just to hold station tonight at the Veltins Arena here in Germany, as Manchester United are taking a 3-0 lead into this second leg encounter with Schalke. It's Rio Ave and the likes of CAK, Moscow, Mönchengladbach and Leverkusen, Napoli fighting in the other quarterfinals. I have to say that Manchester United have one foot in the door over the to the semi-finals already, in a contest which many people thought Jose wouldn't take so seriously, but as we've said a couple of times this season already, it is one trophy he has never earned. So maybe that is an extra incentive for him today. Schalke have it all to do then in this second leg. 3-0 down, and Manchester United in red hot form. It is going to be a tough night to say the least for one of the Germans' top teams, of course. And they line up with pretty much the same lineup they lined up in the first leg, with Hibberders as captain and Klaas-Jan Huntelaar up front. Farman had a difficult one in the first leg. He'll be able to at least put right some bits there, but it's all going to be down to Jan Huntelaar if they can score anything. Like we said, it's going to be a tough night. It's not going to be an easy night for Jose, but he has put out a weakened team per se. He doesn't really have to push too hard. Romero will start with Riley, Poole, Tuanzebe and Semedo. It's Schneidlin with Carrick, Hugh Cooper and Brendan Murphy making his first Manchester United start. And it's Wilson and Ashley Fletcher up front. Fletcher finds Wilson. He's going to find Morgan Schneidlin. He's going to slice it wide, although it might be a corner. And it is a goal kick. Well, it's going to be a tough one for relegated Burnley next, as they will hold the Ford of Turf Moor down against the champion-select Manchester United in the return to the Premier League. And that is going to be a tough night for its bottom against top. Manchester United in red-hot form. Burnley, of course, relegated. But that's why you have the games on the pitch. If you remember the last time that Manchester United encountered Burnley, and obviously Romero couldn't put that one up, and there's a whole scramble going on in the box, and Manchester United are getting away with one there. Here's Fletcher on the break for United, and he couldn't find Wilson, and it goes out for a throw. Well, as we said, next to Manchester United in the encounter against Burnley, if you remember Sir Alex Ferguson's last encounter with Burnley, I believe it was, that time they lost. And, Paul Scholes scored a goal, but I think Burnley got 2 after that. I think it was a telling point in the race for the title too. Oh, poor from Schalke. Merely makes Manchester United's job ever easier, really. And it has been a subdued first half, as we probably expected. Manchester United just miles off the gas, and it's getting miles more off as the match goes on. But Romero has made a couple of brilliant saves as well. And Schalke's finishing has been relatively poor, aside from that, however. 0-0 on the night, 3-0 on aggregate. Manchester United, job done. She's again. He's in towards Hunter Lara, and Paul clears it, only as far as Barber though. Barber's in the box, and Manchester United just standing still, and Jeez has picked it off Regan Poole, and has scored 1 goal for Schalke. And you can tell Manchester United just sitting back. Jose probably didn't want this much sitting back, however. This is just unfortunate. Poole, or Riley actually, attempts to clear it, and it comes off Jeez. He knows nothing about it. Romero comes out and is rather unfortunate. He was shouting at Riley, but really, I think that's just luck of the draw. So Schalke have 1. They need to score a further 3. Jeez is one of the top scorers in the Europa League, for Schalke anyway, with 4 goals so far. If we can get another 3, Schalke will actually progress here. It's got a little bit smaller, the mountain to climb, but still quite the trek. Schalke 1, United 0. Manchester United double substitution. Jesse Lingard and Ollie Cox for Hugh Cooper and Michael Carrick. So Ollie Cox now has a chance on the pitch again for the final 4 minutes or so. And this kid's at the first leg of light, didn't he? A tackle, but Manchester United had to keep the ball. Here's Brandon Murphy. Rather unlucky tonight, the youngster, isn't he? He's done particularly well. Here's Jesse Lingard. 4 minutes of added time, and it does look all over for Schalke despite the pretty much dominating second half. Here's Lingard, and it's all over. And that is it for the tie then. Jesse Lingard, the substitute, has made brilliant work of it. Brilliant stuff by Murphy there with a great pass to Lingard. Unselfish. And Jesse Lingard, ever the crucial goal scorer, gets another one. Jesse Lingard has had a pretty impressive year or so, hasn't he? Scored the winner in the FA Cup final, 6 goals in the Europa League this season. Jesse Lingard is proving the critics wrong. He's had a lot of critics, Jesse Lingard. But he gets a 4-year contract, and he's proving why. Jesse Lingard is a star. Not a superstar, not yet. But if Jesse keeps up at that pace, he'll become one very quickly. And I hope he does. There's a lot of unfair criticism from fans alike, and I think it's hugely unfair. Lingard has moved and proved his worth, in my opinion. James Wilson. Oh, he's put it wide, unlucky. And that is it for Manchester United then. Job done. And they did take their foot off the gas tonight. We expected them to do so. 3-0 lead from the first leg. It was a bit of a scare when Schalke scored, and they had the majority of the match, to be fair, but Jesse Lingard came on with 4 minutes regulation and stoppage time to play and put the tie all beyond doubt. An impressive debutant for Brendan Murphy tonight. He made the assist, and job done for Manchester United. Then even added a third goal to their lead. Schalke had the game, but it ends 1-1, and Manchester United are through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. The scores from tonight of the Europa League, it appears that Mönchengladbach may have made a miraculous comeback by winning 2-0 over CSK in Moscow. I believe that means Mönchengladbach actually progressed. Leverkusen finishing off their tie against Napoli with 2-1 win. Real Alv beating Nice by 2-0 alongside Schalke and United's 1-1 draw. Meaning the semi-finals look like this. Manchester United take on Real Alv, and it's an all-German tie with Leverkusen taking on Mönchengladbach in the other one.